Good morning. It is Friday, and I have Donavan Goff here and Joel Stevens, and we're talking about the Veterans Day event at the Air Museum, which will be happening next Sunday, obviously on Veterans Day, the 11th. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. So this is something that the county does. Is it county? No, it's the VFW puts it on every year. Is that right?
Yeah, we put it on every year. I think this is year 20.
You're going to have to move that mic a little bit
22
closer.
or 23 of the event.
Perfect.
Hosted out there, museum. And it's a great venue. We've done it again.
It's a perfect
years in a row.
venue. I mean, it used to be an old military base, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's perfect. Real quick, because you're a new face that I have not talked to about VFW yet. You are the new face of the VFW.
I don't know if I want to say new face.
You're the younger face of the VFW.
I think so.
Yes.
I've been with the VFW here in the county dating back to 2011, and I've had a major role with them from that point on, where I was the ipso facto secretary. We call it an adjutant because we stick with the military thing.
Sure.
And this year I took over as the commander, so I'm the top dog.
Yeah.
So
that's great. From Jim.
Yes.
Is he still involved?
Yes. He became,
I remember when he was in here last time, he was kind of talking about maybe stepping down.
Yeah, he was the top guy for about 4 years. Plus, he was also doing the district, which covers not just our post here in Bay City, but I believe Cannon Beach, Seaside, Claska 9, Rainier, and I think there was one more. So he had to do some traveling here and there.
Yeah.
So it is becoming a little bit tiresome and want to do something else. But yeah, he's still real active. He's active in the planning for the event that we're putting on next week. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Veterans Day event. Joel, would you like to tell us what's happening that day?
It's going to be great. We're expecting a big turnout. We've got the breakfast, the fundraiser breakfast starting at 7:30, so everybody should come out for that first.
And that's at the Airbase Cafe. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're going to be serving good food out there. It's an SOS fundraiser, so that starts at 7:30. It'll go till about 10:30ish, and then people can start to actually move into the museum. They've got a big tent set up in there. I mean, we went out and looked at it a couple weeks ago. And it's going to be amazing. I think people are really going to be impressed.
Yeah. And let's talk about the celebration, the ceremony, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure. Like what is happening during that time period?
Lots of stuff going on this year. So my role is I'm going to MC this year. Bill Hatton, who's been doing that for 7 or 8 years, is stepping down.
Who still looks very sharp in his military uniform.
Oh, he's a very sharp guy.
Puts it on.
He is.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. I'm nervous about that, but I'll do my best.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
But we've got the River City bagpipes and drums coming. We've got the Coast Guard's going to provide color guard for us. Tillamook Community Chorus is going to be there. We've got a traveling military museum, which is very interesting. You know, people should take some time to go through those tables either before or after the program, because a lot of really interesting historical stuff there. A lot of very educational material for adults and for kids to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Buffalo Kitty providing patriotic music. They're always entertaining. And then we've got some bikers.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that? The Combat Veterans Motorcycle Group?
Yeah, so I believe they're from, I want to say the Salem area. Don't quote me on that one. But we're expecting anywhere from 20 to 30, maybe even more bikers to roll in about, what would we decide, 9 o'clock? 9:30ish?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So it gives people time to, check out the bikes, hear them roar in.
Yeah,
to be that big draw, but still not interrupt the timing of the program starting and being able to get seated and whatnot.
Yeah.
Those Harley pipes rolling in.
You'll hear them coming down Long Prairie.
It's going to be impressive. Yes.
It is cool when you see a bunch of bikes or any cars that are all the same. You can tell it's a club of people coming through town. It's pretty cool.
It is.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be a huge gathering like that. So you see a few. It's like you see summertime car shows. You see those 50s and 60s cars driving by. You just, all right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, I know when the Jeeps are here for Jeep Jamboree, that's always fun. For a minute, I'm always like, wait, why are there so many Jeeps in town? Oh, it's the first weekend of June. It's Jeep Jamboree. They come and ride all the trails. Very cool. So I've seen traveling military museums. Probably not the same because it was one I saw up in Washington, like up in the Bellingham area. But we went to and it was an air show, I think, an air show in a traveling military museum, and it was really cool to see just how things were done back then. And, you know, we didn't have a lot of technology, and what the uniforms look like and how they're different today and all that kind of stuff.
We've had the Bart Greiner, who's I don't know if you want to call him a curator. He's the guy who holds all this stuff. Mm-hmm. He's been at the event before. He's that big display of like 30 tables. Mm-hmm. Where it's got the older uniforms and weaponry and whatnot.
That's a lot. Yeah. 30 tables. That's a lot of stuff. And so this is free and open to the public.
It is.
Right? It's an event. It's a great time to celebrate our veterans.
Yes. You know, veterans, family members of veterans. I mean, you know, I think this is just a great community event, and you know, there's so many people involved in putting this on, and you know, volunteer so much of their time to make this whole thing happen. So, you know, I think anyone in this community who comes will have a great time and really be impressed.
Do you need volunteers to help out? I don't know. Are you guys, as the VFW, the one putting it on?
We're the main force behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, we're the ones going out doing the fundraising, most of the planning. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to say a lot of the manpower because there's not like a lot to do manpower wise. And then again, a lot of it is the people that are helping plan and whatnot are those Vietnam guys and older, because we're still having a hard time getting, you know, Desert Storm forward to join the VFW for whatever it may be. So.
Okay, well, let's talk about that in a minute. I'm going to take a quick break, but let's talk about kind of what the VFW offers to the community. I'm going to talk about Rosenberg's. Where do you go to find almost anything you need for home improvement? I'll tell you where. Rosenberg's. Rosenberg's has been your local connection for anything you need to build and finish your house to perfection. Carpet, cabinets, paint, electrical, plumbing, nuts and bolts, fencing, windows, doors, and so much more. All those items in one place, but that's only part of the story. What really makes Rosenberg's your stop for home improvement is their people. Their knowledgeable, friendly staff is there to help you through any project. Any question from what paint you should use to how to install a new shower valve, you can get the help you need to do it right the first time. Stop by Rosenberg's today to rediscover what you've known all along. It's better to shop local and work with great people you can see every day. Build it, plumb it, wire it, paint it. Rosenberg Builder Supply, Tillamook. So I'm talking with Donavan Goff from the Bay City VFW. Is that right?
I guess you could call it Tillamook County.
Or Tillamook County VFW. And Joel Stevens. We're talking about the Veterans Day event celebration, which will be obviously on Veterans Day, the 11th, which is a Sunday.
It is.
The 12th is the observed day off, which happens to be my birthday, which I always liked when I was a kid because when Veterans Day fell on Sunday, I got my birthday off of school.
Ah, yeah. Worked out good.
Yeah. Donovan, let's talk about the VFW and what it kind of provides to the community and the veteran community, and maybe get some people interested in joining.
Well, you know, we have our hands here and there. The biggest mission for the VFW is helping needy veterans. Mm-hmm. You know, we talked about the SOS fundraiser breakfast. The money that's brought in for that will be split between the two veterans' homes here in the state, the one in the Dalles and the one down in Albany.
Oh, okay.
You'll see us, Fred Meyers, during Memorial Day weekend doing poppies.
Yes.
All that money, again, goes into a account. It's tracked. And then if there's a veteran in the area who come on hard times, need help with their bills, car broke down, need a little bit of help for that. Mm-hmm. That's what that's provided for. Nothing goes to anybody. Mm-hmm. Like there's no administrative fees.
Sure.
A lot of community service.
You guys work the stand down events.
Yeah, we
were neighbors at a few stand downs.
Tomorrow.
Today.
I'm leaving from here straight to that.
Oh yeah, is it? Oh yes. Yep. Okay.
So
that's cool. So sorry, I got sidetracked because I was writing a note while you were talking. But what does it provide for the veterans? Do you guys meet on a weekly basis or a monthly basis?
It's the third Thursday of the month at Bay City Hall in Bay City at 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. Our next meeting would be next Thursday. And we get together and we plan not really for, say, like Veterans Day, but we discuss what went on during that planning because we'll do that usually in the morning of that day as well. And we'll talk about different stuff. Shop with the Cops coming up. We usually donate to that.
Oh, yeah.
Planning on, you know, there's the setup and the teardown for the event next weekend. Different things that may be coming up, either veteran eccentric or through the community that we can find a way to have our hand in.
And I imagine it kind of connects veterans together who maybe want to talk about their experiences or want to have some camaraderie, want to reminisce.
And that's the best thing about it too, is because you see a lot of
you've all gone through something that everybody kind of
it's a shared
understands.
experience. And
yeah,
a lot of veterans don't like to get out and be sociable because people don't either know what they've been through or
Sure.
they have the anxiety or something like that.
Right.
But you can get with these guys, and again, they have that shared type of history where they can share those stories and whatnot and feel at home.
So if somebody wants to join or wants to talk to you about, are you a good person to talk to?
Oh, yes.
About wanting to join? How would they get a hold of you?
We have an actual Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
And an email address. I don't think we use the email too often. But
So what is your Facebook page?
It's VFW Post 2848.
On the spot. It's what?
He's got it.
VFW 2848.
Here it is right there.
Yep.
I just Googled VFW Tillamook.
But if you see us around, you can come to our meetings. Bring your DD Form 214, which is your discharge paperwork to show that you qualify, which means you have to have some kind of ribbon or note saying that you served in a foreign conflict. And there's certain stuff that meets criteria. Korea is a specialty one because it's not just during the Korean War. It's anybody who served since that were boots on ground in Korea. So people that are there today, because it's never been like a stand down. It's just been,
an ongoing thing.
Yeah, stuff like that. And you can reach to us to Facebook, let us know you're interested. We can give you information. It's got meeting times and date. The stand down, Fred Meyers, wherever you see us posted up doing something, we're usually trying to get more people in while we're doing whatever else is we're out there doing.
I know something I've seen a lot of recently is the focus on mental health for veterans.
Yes.
Is that something you guys are big into helping with?
We've mentioned Bill Hatton, who's
that's what I was writing down was what he does for veterans.
He's a real active member with the post. He serves as our service officer because it's something he brings from work as the county service officer.
Right.
Who does, getting people help with their VA claims and whatever
benefits
assistance they can do. Yes. And so where are we going on this?
I don't know. Bill. I was asking
Bill's
about
an
mental
amazing
health.
resource.
Mental health.
So earlier this year, the state passed that I don't want to say it's a law.
Ordinance?
But there's a measure where a certain amount of the lottery tax goes to helping veteran services.
Yes.
Well, they allotted each county so much money to help with mental health, suicide awareness, and September they had put on something. He had a big hand in that. And so it's something, it's like we don't actually provide that kind of information because, again, we're real small in numbers.
But he comes and
he's the guy who lets us know and lets us know what we can help out with.
Right.
So...
Cool. And Bill Hatton is great. If you are not aware that we do have a veteran service officer in the county, he's actually usually the one that comes in and talks. But because Joel is now emceeing, you got to come in and talk today, huh?
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
But he provides access and this helps residents get assistance to social services, medical benefits, and pension benefits that are available through the VA and other governmental agencies. So he's a really great resource. If you do not know that we have him in town, he's over at the courthouse. I think downstairs.
In the basement.
In the basement.
Yes.
I think it's funny that it says the basement because when you go down there, it doesn't really feel like a basement.
Well, especially since you got to go up and then back down.
Yeah. It's yeah. So we're talking about the Veterans Day event that will be held out at the port at the Air Museum on Sunday the 11th. Let's talk a little bit more about it. You said there's a number of people performing, right?
Yes, we're going to have a guest speaker from stationed here at the local Coast Guard station, kind of giving people a historical context for the Coast Guard in Tillamook County, their involvement in the community.
So at the event or at the Coast Guard station?
At the event.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to have a keynote speaker from the Coast Guard, so that should be really interesting for everyone to listen to. There's a couple names I just want to throw out here because so many people, help put this together and put a bunch of volunteer time in. So Donovan's obviously, one of the primary ones. Bill Hatton, very involved. We've already mentioned him, but Mark Davison, Phyllis Rice, Carol McAndrew, Jim and Karen, Alan Brand, Robert Pollock, Jim Henry. We couldn't do this without them. They're just a great resource for this program, and I'm sure I'm probably forgetting some people, but.
Well, again, you get like a Christian Gurley out at the museum, who's always a big help.
Yeah,
and then other numerous individuals throughout the VFW, and it's not something that we just start putting together last month. This goes back.
Oh, sure.
7-8 months of planning each year to try to get this thing.
I'm sure. Yeah. Once you're done with this year's event, you'll start thinking about
take a few
next
months
year's.
off and start getting together about March.
You take the time off, and then you start thinking like, oh, you know what we should do next year, and then you start making a list, and then next thing you know, it's next year. Right? That's what I do with my events. As soon as I'm done, I start making notes for next year. Do you have sponsors? Are there any local businesses that are sponsoring or providing support?
We have a few. I'm sure I'm going to miss out a bunch of these, and they'll be recognized during the event itself. But we do have sponsorship from Safeway. I believe we're getting a gift card from them to provide the food for the breakfast.
Which is great. That's a big deal. That helps us out.
I can't remember who else locally, but again, their museum donates the space.
Of course,
and manpower. We're receiving a grant from the Confederate Tribe of the Stillettes this evening. Yeah. Down at the casino. It's just again, we'll have more information. They'll be all thanked during the ceremony themselves.
Right. And the SOS. Why is it called an SOS breakfast? Do you know? Uh-oh. I'm getting blank stares.
It's the well, it's a fundraiser to help with the veterans' homes, as Donavan mentioned. So,
but somebody named it obviously at some point, but you don't know
named.
why.
I don't know if we're allowed to use like it's part of my German, Scheiße on a shingle. And it came from, in the military way back when you're in for rations, gravy over toast.
I was going to say, you can't say the other S word on there.
And that's why I was trying to find a way.
I liked it. I like how you got around that.
So yeah, it came from, throwing breakfast gravy on toast because, you had to watch out for rations. So, we should have the biscuits and gravy.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It is good food. Very
breakfast, good. Yeah. Biscuits and gravy and eggs and things like that.
Yeah. It's the same stuff we usually, I don't know if it's the bacon, but it's like sausage and ham and the eggs. I don't know if they're doing the pancakes still, but they've done that a few years. So that'll all be put together.
A nice hearty breakfast.
Very.
Yeah. And is there a cost for the breakfast? I mean, I know it's a fundraiser, but is there a cost or is it by donation?
I believe it's $8. Don't quote me, but it's been somewhere in that area the past few years.
Very reasonable.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and then you get some community time together with people, and
the turnout from the community for these events is just amazing. I've tried to go every year, just as a spectator, and for a community our size, the amount of people that show up is just amazing. And it's also a testament to how many veterans we have in our community. Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah.
As well as some active service members. So it's just a great opportunity to honor them and their families. Families are a big part of this. Keeps us in the fight, having that support at home.
Sure.
So it's great for them too.
Is Bill also doing? I know sometimes there's a program at the schools. Do you know if he's doing that this year?
He's not. The school, East Elementary puts on a fantabulous assembly every year. It's usually the Friday or the day before, depending on when it falls during the week of Veterans Day. Right. And the kids put on a great show. They, the Color Guard usually shows up and does from the Coast Guard and does their thing, and then they'll get up and they'll have the high school chorus there to sing the service anthems and whatnot, and then usually have a guest speaker. I believe this year they have Jim Allenbrand, who we've mentioned a couple of times as the speaker. Yeah. And there's usually a decent turnout to that too. And after the ceremony, they put on like a little get together in one of their break rooms, cake and punch.
Right. I think that's a great opportunity for the kids to kind of see that, especially that grade East, they're still young enough where that's impressive to them, but old enough to really understand what it is. Right. So I think that's a really cool thing. So but you don't know what day that is?
It'll be Friday. The 9th.
Next Friday.
10:30 a.m.
Is it down there on the paper?
Oh. It is. Next Friday
I didn't get a paper.
At East Elementary.
Oh, cool. At 10 o'clock. And I think that's
10:30.
10:30. And that's just open to
It's open
That's
to,
open to anyone, right?
It's open to anyone. You just go in the door, sign in, go have
So
a
if for
seat in
some
the-
reason Sunday doesn't work for you, that's also a good opportunity is that Friday one. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to take another quick break. We're going to talk about the Regional Medical Center. Eating nutritious foods combined with regular exercise is the key to a healthy heart. Overconsumption of foods packed with added sugars and carbohydrates can lead to high blood pressure and blood sugar levels, damaging blood vessels and contributing to heart and vascular problems. To keep your heart healthy, cardiologists at Tillamook Regional Medical Center recommend eating at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day, exercising for 30 minutes daily, and sleeping 7 to 9 hours each night. Visit northwestregionalheart.com for more heart healthy tips and to take a free and confidential heart age assessment. I'm talking with Donavan Goff from the Tillamook County VFW, and I keep wanting to call you Judge Joel Stevens. Sorry, that's just...
Joel's good here.
Joel, yes, Joel Stevens. It just falls off the tongue so nicely, though. We're talking about the Veterans Day program and event down at the port at the Air Museum on November 11th. It starts at 11, but then breakfast starts at 7:30, right?
Yes.
Yeah, come early, get your breakfast, walk around the tables, check out the traveling museum.
Yeah. Well, and not only
listen
that,
to those Harleys roll in.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but I mean, the Air Museum itself has such a menagerie of things, such a variety of things to see as well. I mean, you could spend all day down there.
Oh yeah.
Especially now that they're rebuilding after Erickson moved all them planes out a few years ago. It's nice to see what Phyllis and her crew are doing out there with not just the planes, but the other setups in the corners. And
yeah, they got that guy that brought down all the dioramas from
that
Kaiser
huge.
or something. Yeah, and they built a whole 7,000 square foot room just for his little dioramas of all the different war scenes and things like that. It blows my mind.
I was marveling at the gift shop too last time I was out there because I have a 1-year-old daughter and they've got really cute little pilot jackets for kids and all kinds of fun stuff in there.
Oh,
yeah, good early Christmas shopping.
Ah, yes. Although early Christmas shopping was like August.
Oh,
you're kind of late if you're starting now. No, I'm kidding. it's
I'm behind
November
the curve
2nd. So there will be a number of groups performing the River City bagpipes and drums. The Tillamook Community Chorus, are they singing patriotic songs? Do they also sing the different...
So
what do you call them?
Same like
Anthems?
they worked in the past. Yeah, they'll do the national anthem, I believe.
Do they sing...
Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's Kathy Forbes does the national anthem.
Yeah,
but they do the service anthems.
Yeah, service anthems. That's what I was... Which is really cool. And then is that when all of the members of that service organization stand up? So like when they sing the Navy song.
It's customary when you hear your song, no matter where you're at the event or walking down the street, that you come to the position
stop
of attention and
respect.
Yes.
Yeah, the anthem.
Sing along with it if you know the words.
I love it.
Sadly, you don't know if Marines know that many words.
Well, everyone has a week to practice, so
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Brush up on your song before next Sunday.
Yes. And you said there were some keynote speakers just from the Coast Guard, and then Bill?
No, Bill, it's been an MC in the past, and that's where Joel's coming in now.
So he's not speaking.
No, and we've been adding more and more to the event each year. So as that comes, we've also been trying to take down on the keynote speakers. I know when I started 7-8 years ago, we were having 2 people speak. And so that's changed a lot. And again, we're having somebody from the Coast Guard come out and talk about the history of the station and their mission and goals moving forward type of speech. So
yeah, because I mean, I know the Coast Guard house, but I don't go by the station very often. You know, you drive by the house there because that's not the station, right? The house on the side? No, that's where they stay.
I think that's where that's
where they live.
Area. But yeah, the station's right out there.
So that's kind of cool. Yeah. And they're very active in the community. I know they're in the parades and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Coast Guard's a pretty active part of our community. Donavan, I wanted to give you another opportunity to tell if somebody's listening and is not a part of the VFW, how they can get a hold of you and also why they should join.
Again, you can reach us on Facebook. It's probably the most easy measure nowadays. We have an email. It's
VFW Post 2848 is the name on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the email is VFW2848@gmail.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it's easier to just not have the post, just keep it compact. Yeah. And you can find us at different things, usually today at the stand down, Sunday at the event. Usually our members are running around not usually our service hats, but the veteran identification hat. You know, there's the time they served, or maybe a unit hat or something like that. And then just send us a note or sit down and talk to us. We can get you signed up then or there to come to our meetings third Thursday of the month, 6 p.m. at Bay City Hall. And again, bring your DD-214 if you're wanting to sign up, so we can prove that you qualify.
Right. And it would be silly of us not to talk about the event that's happening at 10 in a few minutes, the stand down at the fairgrounds. Can we very briefly run over what that is, what the Veteran Stand Down is?
Veteran Stand Down is an outreach to the veterans in the community, maybe looking for employment, maybe looking to get into different services. Homeless veterans who need supplies, sleeping bags,
haircut,
stuff like that.
or
I believe so.
Yeah.
They'll have lunch on hand. It's just a great resource for veterans in the area to check out.
And I think CARE puts that on. Is that correct?
I believe they are in charge, yes. And also big help with Dan Dennis from the Employment Office, who's the veteran representative there.
Oh, I didn't know that there was a veteran representative is that WorkSource?
WorkSource, yes.
Yes.
And I believe CARE has one. I'm not sure who's
F.
in that position now, though.
Yeah, and that's free and open to any veterans. Do they also have to have a DD-214 to show that they're a veteran?
I believe so. Again, just, our thing usually is go out there and try to get people to join the VFW and see where we can help out. But I believe the end processing part, if you want to get the stuff, like if you're homeless or in a hard time, you got to prove somehow that you're a veteran.
Right, sure. It does say though that it's a good resource to everybody's all the services are kind of all in one location. Okay. So VA benefits counselors, claim experts, meet with employers. They'll have food, clothing, showers. I found a thing online, haircuts, personal care kits, camping, and then of course camaraderie, because like you said, you've all had a shared experience and nobody really understands that unless they've gone through it.
Yeah. And they've done a fantastic job. I think this is the 4th year they've put it on.
Yeah.
And it started with Camp Raleigh used to put it on every year. And for some reason, one year they weren't able to, and somebody in the community decided to pick that up. And then from then on each year. So.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, the fairgrounds do a great job of hosting.
Yeah,
it's a good
I assume
location.
it's in the skating rink or the building right next to it. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with the normal
I think
convention areas.
I think it's like both, because again, the past few years, you've had the services and whatnot.
Oh, on one side, and then like the
serve the meal on the skating rink.
Yeah,
I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Overflow of services.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us. This is a great topic.
We'll make sure we
discuss.
talk about it next week and remind people to go.
For young people too, who maybe have not served yet, but maybe they're thinking about it.
Oh yeah, that's a great
come out next
opportunity.
Sunday. Be a part of the experience. I mean, myself, I'm in the National Guard. There's a lot of great opportunities for young people in the Guard right now, as far as tuition at in-state schools, getting your tuition waived, lot of benefits.
Yeah. It's one thing to talk to a recruiter, because that's their job and they know a lot of information, but it's nice to get the other side of it and talk to someone who's served or who is serving to really understand what is it like to be in that service.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are timid when they see a veteran. They don't want to ask questions, but there's questions you can ask, and there's some that you should avoid. And a lot of guys are willing to share their
experience.
Stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Monday, we'll have folks here talking about Nestucca's fall play. Tonight at the NCRD, the Newport Symphony will be presenting Orchestra at the Ocean. It starts at 7:30. Tickets are available at tickettomato.com or at the door. It's an enormous symphony with 45 members, so it should be a pretty unique experience. As we mentioned today, starting right now from 10 to 2 at the fairgrounds is the annual Tillamook County Veteran Stand Down. Sunday is the annual FFA dinner and silent auction starting at 6. It includes a pork loin, roast, baked potato, roll, and veggie sides. Tickets are available $15 a ticket or $25 per couple. Hear what the FFA's been up to and what their experience was at their national convention. The Tillamook Holiday Light Parade is now accepting registration for this year's short and fun parade held December 1st, right after the Tillamook City tree lighting ceremony. Registration forms are available at the Chamber, Diamond Art Jewelers, or at TillamookHolidayLightParade.com. And don't forget to turn your clocks back this weekend. Wah, wah. Turn them back an hour. Thanks again, gentlemen, for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tillamook, for listening.